Hi, I'm Charlie Bolden. I'm an astronaut myself, and I'm recruiting the best and brightest Americans to join me. You see, NASA is on a journey to Mars, and we're on the lookout for a new generation of space pioneers. Do you think you have what it takes to join NASA's next astronaut class? Then I want you to apply for NASA's astronaut program. Learn more at nasa.gov.
Wherever you are, make it Truth Frequency Radio.
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship currently cruising from California to Guam. Wait, what is that below us? Alaska? Why would we? Oh, that's right. It's on the way. I keep forgetting. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure, thousands of miles wide. Check it out at enclosedworld.com or just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, then you probably have the IQ of an oven rack. My good friend and personal wingman for the show is Jonathan from Jersey. How's it going?
Here's Johnny. I thought you were going to say.
Really?
That's the way you were serving it up.
I kind of was, wasn't I?
What's going on, man?
That's a Tonight Show reference for those of you who are too young to remember who Johnny Carson is.
Right, not the Shining version.
No, not the Jack Nicholson Shining version, which was directed by Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and was the inspiration for the documentary Room 237 and Kubrick's Odyssey. So there you have it. A couple quick shout-outs. First off, a quick shout out to Ted Toth. And why I'm mentioning him is because yesterday afternoon, shortly after a show I had just done, I received my first flat earth clock. A big full-size flat earth clock with a AE map, the azimuthal equidistant map in the center of it. And that is now hanging on a bathroom wall. Currently, I thought it was really cool, and it's really the first generation flat Earth clock, because there are other generations of this thing coming out, and some of them are going to be really, really cool. But hey, you know what? He was the first to market, and good for him. So if anyone wants to look up flat Earth clock, Ted Toth, I think his YouTube channel is called Delta 9. So Delta and the number 9. I don't know if he's actually selling them online. I was looking, I couldn't find them, but hey, good for you, Ted. Wonderful. Getting out there in time for Christmas.
Not for nothing, but I think flat Earth watches would do really well because they're flat and round, like old school.
Also, yeah, I bet you know what? Excellent point. Flat Earth watches. Anything flat and round. Flat Earth commemorative dinner plates.
Wait, speaking of, because I remember on the Flintstones they had sundial watches. Would a sundial work on the flat Earth?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, just asking.
Yeah,
it's a trick question. Of course it does.
Of course it does.
There's only one way to answer that question.
Everything still works on a flat Earth. No, it doesn't. That's really weird. So why does it? Although, if you're going to throw that out, again, I'm going to use the blood moon thing. Because how does a blood moon work on a flat Earth? Because technically, if it's flat, there should be no Earth between the sun. I'm really surprised more people don't hit me with that. Because it's like, don't you even know how a blood moon works? The Earth has to be between the sun and the moon. But if it's not, then how does it work? Well, then that means the moon is artificial. The moon's entire display system is artificial, like everything. So there you go. Also like to remind people, even though we are still a full month out, that the upcoming debate on the Art Bell show with Stanton Friedman, me versus Stanton, mano y mano, is coming up. I'd like to give credit to, of course, producer David Rubini, who conjured the whole thing up nearly out of thin air. And since it's a month out, and I know Stanton's getting up there in years, if he actually doesn't make it because he suffers some sort of major heart attack and dies, I know that it is not my fault. I'm actually really, really want to do this with him. But I'll probably have like 3 or 4 more interviews before then. So,
can I give out a quick shout out?
Sure.
Jonathan Vincent in Oradell, New Jersey. A friend of me on Facebook, and he's all about the flat Earth. And he's trying to organize a meetup out here, so I might go meet up with him.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
East Coast meetup.
Should we open up the phone lines as well?
Ooh, that's a good idea. Let me get that going on while you're
okay. While I'm
saying hellos,
serving up the phone number to the phone lines, anyone wants to call in, and you know what, debunkers, please call in as well. I'd like to thank a debunker group that got drunk and decided to make a little YouTube program and dedicate a chunk of their show to me and called me all sorts of fun names. It's fine. I welcome the debunkers, but hey, don't use profanity. Don't be mean, because remember, no matter where you go, there you are.
Right on.
Yeah. That was taken straight out of Buckaroo Banzai.
Buckaroo Banzai.
That's when he was talking to Penny Pretty, because they were yelling at her, calling her names. He's going, hey, don't be mean. I love that line. Anyway. So the phone number to call in to rap with us about anything. And by the way, if you're a debunker, you're calling in, you're not going to get cut off right away. Probably not. I mean, yeah, you'll probably get cut off, but you're not. We're not going to just stomp on you.
No, only if you're a belligerent jerk.
Yeah. Remember, people keep forgetting I was a debunker for 9 months, so I don't think most debunkers held out as long as I'm stubborn when it comes to that stuff. Anyway, the number is 1-866-37-TRUTH. That's toll free on Truth Frequency Radio. Real people, real radio. Or 866-378-7884. Because you know what? I don't like looking at the keypad and trying to figure out the letters as well. I mean, 37-TRUTH, that's catchy. But it's 378-7884. So.
And the phones are up, so we're good to go.
Excellent. What we're going to talk about first is somebody sent me in a statement to read. And this dovetails in, and it's not a long statement, but I'm going to use this in the title because I think it's significant, because it's a neat little piece. So you remember that story we were talking about with the pregnant woman that was flying from Bali to Chicago, and she, all of a sudden 5 hours into the flight, instead of going straight up to Honolulu, Hawaii, because you're going over the Pacific Ocean, they just go almost due north and have the baby in Anchorage, Alaska. And it didn't make any sense. The major news networks covered it. It's like, oh, what a wonderful story. A woman has a emergency child in Anchorage, Alaska. But no, what was interesting was that on a flat map, it was almost a straight shot, that Alaska was literally on the way. Right? And I thought that was interesting. And how does that tie into what we're talking about right now? This letter, this is anonymous, unless he gives more. And the reason why I'm kind of heading up with this video is because this guy's gonna dig into it more, and then you said you might be able to add, but you're gonna stay anonymous, I know, on this one, Jonathan. But anyway, so my name is blank, and I work with this company as a senior customer support in international trace department. Okay, I've been following your work for some months now after finding Eric's work. First, hope he starts unifying instead of dividing. Listen up, Eric. Anyway, my job is to help customers if they have any issues with their shipment stock, mainly in customs overseas. So I had this situation with a package going from Guam to Oakland, California. The package got to its destination late, and the shipper wanted to know why the shipment went to Alaska first, then Japan, and then finally Guam, right? So it was going from Oakland to Guam, and it bounced off Alaska, then Japan, then Guam. This is the normal route for shipments going to Asia or the South Pacific. All shipments going or coming from these regions go to Alaska first. She couldn't understand why the package didn't go from Oakland to Hawaii, which all of us, that's where I would have done. So Oakland to Hawaii, then Guam, as the globe map will show. Common sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have to give her all kinds of excuses for the route this shipment took. Believe me, I wanted to tell her, hey, lady, get a flat Earth map and you'll see why it's going through Alaska. It's almost a straight shot. Anyway, thought this would be interesting to share. We'll shoot you another email with other interesting routes as they come. Keep up the good work.
Right on.
He addressed it to us, by the way, Mark and Jonathan. So here's the story there. But I forgot. Did I mention that at the beginning?
Was my name in parentheses?
Yeah.
Did it say Mark and Jonathan?
Really, seriously, people do put that in emails if you get a chance. Like address it to me at the very end of the email.
End, P.S. Oh, hi, Jonathan.
P.S. Hi, Jonathan. P.S. Is Jonathan still on the show?
Wow.
No.
By the way, I only have 5 weeks left. I think I announced that last week, but 5 weeks left, for 2015 for the Flat Earth.
Jonathan seems to think that something big that might be happening this month, or at least high drama is going to happen. And I, of course, am skeptical. But I'm skeptical when there's 90% chance of rain and and the rain is falling on me. I still say, yeah, I'm skeptical. Yeah. So that's kind of a running joke I do. So anyway, the point was with this letter is it matches up perfectly the opposite direction of the woman that had the emergency baby up in Anchorage, Alaska, which is, look, this guy's basically saying, he's shooting a package from California to Guam, and that should be going over Hawaii. And he goes, no, that's the normal route. Normally, it should go, if on a globe map, everything should go through Hawaii. Everything should go through Hawaii. There's nothing in Anchorage, Alaska. Not enough for that. And the reason why it's going through Anchorage and then through Japan is on a flat map, on the AE, the azimuthal equidistant map. It's a straight shot. You're always going by Alaska, so you might as well stop at Anchorage because it's not costing you anything in the way of fuel. You're not picking up packages. You're probably just stopping by for some extra gas, or maybe pick up a package here and there, but you're not going to do it every time. So interesting, huh? Jonathan,
can you hear me? I'm just giving you guys a flavor, a taste, and a preview of what it's going to be like when I'm not here. I'm sorry, I'll stop kidding.
No, because what I'll do is I'll pretend that I'm you. It's like, what do you think, Jonathan? Well, no, I'll make it a gag like I'm talking to you, and then I'll make some crackle sound. It's like, Jonathan's having a problem with his microphone, but what he means to say is this. So,
wow.
Yeah, I know. So, anyway, thank you, Mr. International Trace Department, for letting us know that, yes, on a flat map. Explain that, debunkers. Explain why the flights are going through Alaska from California. The reason is because from California to Guam or anywhere in the South Pacific, you have to go through there. Didn't you bring up, by the way, two things I want to ask you real quick? One was you've got a person that's also going to be doing some research on your side, maybe.
I was just going to say that, yeah, she works in the shipping industry for about 15 years now, and she knows the systems in and out. And I turned her on to Flat Earth just like the other day.
Yeah.
And I gave her your clues, and her reply today was mind blown. I can't wait to get it to work today to start researching.
Oh.
And she's going to start asking people that have been in the industry longer than her, like, what happens in the Southern Hemisphere? Are there any anomalies? Things like that.
Yeah. And I'm sure this guy was in the same boat. I'm sure he was, because he's been doing this for a while, and he didn't even occur to him. No different than Walter from, I'm sorry, last name Walter, first name Thomas. We'll get to him in a second. From the flight instructor, where he said that, yeah, he'd been a pilot for years, and all of a sudden, once somebody puts this bug in his ear, oh yeah. Why? How did I miss this? How did everyone? That's everyone's really big response if they're in any sort of industry that's tied to this in some way. It's like, how did I miss this?
Yeah.
And so anyway, so thank you very much. And I can't wait for this guy's next email because I think it's pretty cool. So that's why I titled the thing. And I know it was kind of short, but that's okay because we have more. We don't have any calls at the moment, right?
Let me take a look. Calls. No.
Okay. Well, this one then. An email comes in from Anonymous, but this one's kind of a trick question. Ready? Mm-hmm. This one's for you. This is a quote from a historical figure not that long ago.
Thomas Edison. Go ahead.
No.
It's worth a try.
No.
Marcus Aurelius. All right, go ahead.
It is commonly believed that man will fly directly from the Earth to the moon, but to do this, we would require a vehicle of such gigantic proportions
I know this one.
that it would prove an economic impossibility. It would have to develop sufficient speed to penetrate the atmosphere and overcome the Earth's gravity, and having traveled all the way to the moon, it must still have enough fuel to land safely and make the return trip to Earth. Furthermore, in order to give the expedition a margin of safety, we would not use one ship alone, but a minimum of 3.
Yep.
Each rocket ship would be taller than New York's Empire State Building and weigh almost 10 times the tonnage of the Queen Mary, or some 800,000 tons.
I could have paraphrased the whole entire quote. I knew every one of those facts.
Did you?
And I can't think of the guy's name. The guy that headed up Operation Paperclip. Werner von Braun?
Yep, Werner von Braun.
Right. I know that one.
Father of the Apollo space program. And if I get a chance to read that, or at least an excerpt from it, I will read that to Stanton and Art. I hope they let me, because it's true. It's like this guy, he came out beforehand and says, "Oh my God, this is going to be the toughest thing to do ever. It's going to be absolutely economically unfeasible." And then next thing you know, oh yeah, we can go to the moon. Yeah, in fact, let's just keep going.
Us going to the moon in that little dink they called the lunar landing is like going to Burning Man or something, like with like a Fiat or a Mini. Yeah. Like, you're just not going to do it. You're going out to literally the same kind of setting, like in a desert where you have to bring a lot of crap with you and survive for however many days that you're there.
Yeah.
So you want to be able to pack some stuff. I was looking at that moon buggy video yet again.
Oh yeah, the stabilized one?
Yeah. That was the one. And I was like, this effing thing is so huge. Like, where did they pack that thing?
Exactly.
I can't figure it out.
Oh no!
Because when they showed it landing, they didn't take it out of the trunk.
No. It was supposed. Well, actually, they supposedly did. It was like bolted to the side. They've got it folded up in all these pieces, and they supposedly they take it down. Unfortunately, there is not a single photograph of them trying to put it together.
Dude, effing Optimus Prime can't effing fold up like that. That's a cartoon.
I know. It's a full blown car, and they.
How much does that weigh?
Quite a bit, I would imagine.
I mean, you think every ounce counts, right?
Including that really heavy battery that would have powered that thing, and that's a 1960s battery.
That's kind of crap you played with when you were a kid. You made sparks, and that thing was always alive.
Yeah. I mean,
never died.
You gotta remember, this was back when some lanterns were using like 6-volt batteries. Those things that weigh like 2.5, 3 pounds.
If you did it now though, and you said, okay, we're using solid state transistors, and we're using computers are as powerful as these smartphones we have, and we're using suits made out of graphene, so the stuff can't puncture.
Yeah.
Like, then I'd believe it.
Yeah, maybe now. Yeah, the technology now. Yeah, you could fold up something and do all sorts of fun stuff. But 1969?
Yeah.
Well, have you seen the cars from 1969? Cool as they were, they rattled. There was loose tolerances everywhere. I mean, and they were heavy. Remember, this was back in the days when people don't even know what these are.
Metal
now.
bumpers were there.
Yeah, exactly. 5-mile-an-hour bumpers.
Right.
And people are going, what do you mean? That means you can hit a car at 5 miles an hour and nobody suffers any damage. And I knew this a lot because I grew up on an island where we had a ferry, and the guys would just keep creeping you in until you touched bumpers with the car in front of you, and nobody would care. Now we have 0-mile-an-hour bumpers. You touch bumpers and it's $2,000 on both sides. It's ridiculous.
I told Melissa that, by the way. We're getting another car, and I said, can we just get a beater, like maybe a nice 1994 or maybe even an 86 Bronco? Yeah. So anybody wants to cut you off, you could just play tap and bump. Mm-hmm. So who's going to touch you with that kind of car?
Exactly. So totally agree. Oh, and the other thing I want to mention real quick was that, so yeah, on top of the moon buggy, which again, there's no footage of any moon buggy being taken apart and put into a car, and they put it, because these guys are garage mechanics as well.
Wait. How many pictures did they take on the moon, supposedly?
5.
The Time Life release?
Oh, yeah, not many.
Okay, how many guys do you know take like stupid pictures of that, of guys being guys, holding the wrench, the classic, holding a beer in one hand, under the hood? Nobody took one shot of them assembling that. My dad has a friggin' Christmas picture of him assembling the crap, that we got for Christmas, putting stickers on Star Wars stuff every year.
Yeah.
Right? We all have those photos in our albums.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't take one of putting the moon vehicle together?
Yeah, there's no clown footage. There's no punk shot, whatever.
But there's time for golf.
Yeah, and exactly. And there's one car reference I got to make for you, and that is the Van Allen belts, because I was doing some more research into this just to see if I could find the official response from Van Allen, because he was the one that said they're super deadly. And then later, when they had to go through them, he had to kind of downplay it. And so their official response was, what their official response was, how they got through it without the shielding?
What?
They went real fast.
Are you crapping me out?
Let's floor it. What's the worst thing that could happen? Let's just floor it. Just go, right? Oh, there's a big problem with that explanation, though. And that is, you're flooring it through. Okay, fine. You also said that the belts were really, really thick. So even if you were doing, say, 15,000 miles an hour,
right,
you're still going through them for an hour. I mean, those things were if you believe them, they're huge. Okay, so you make it to the moon. Fine. Let's say you floored it to the moon. How are you flooring it back exactly? You got no rocket to speak of that's of any decent quality.
Right.
So then you're going super slow. Plus, you don't want to go real fast heading towards the Earth, because that's home. You got to slow it down. You got to take it nice and gentle.
We should do like funny videos, because I love doing. I make videos, and I should do one of them in the moon capsule.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. There's radiation head. Let's floor it. And then they're looking at each other, right? And the thing's rumbling, and then they're like, guys, do you taste that? And then like my tongue is going numb, and it's like metallic, like they start feeling.
There you go.
From the radiation poisoning.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
okay. So let me punch this other thing real quick.
And then you got a call after that.
Okay. Hi, Mark. Thought you might find this interesting interview with the artist who creates Hubble pics. So go to just ideas.ted.com, and it's called Gallery, the Art and Science of Space Photography. You won't be able to miss it. And if you can't find it, just email me and I'll shoot you the link, or maybe I'll put the link in the description. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, there's a guy that actually helps make the Hubble pics. Why would he have to make the Hubble pics? Well, look at the link and find out. Anyway, we have a call. So who do we got?
Someone from Fairbanks, Alaska.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
Hit me. What you got?
I don't know. Who is it?
Hello?
They're there.
Alaska, are you there?
They're playing with us.
No, they're not.
No, seriously. We're linked in.
Are we?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Alaska, you got to turn up your microphone.
All right, we'll give them a 3.
Dump them and call. Well, they can call back.
All right, call us back.
See what happens there? They already got to him. The drone strike stuff is way faster nowadays than it used to be. So,
or they could be drunk.
Or they could. Well, it is Alaska.
Whatever that means.
I'm not profiling. I'm just saying. Look, it's the only state that you actually get money for living there. They will pay you to live in Alaska. Most people don't know that, and there's a reason. It's got some hostile moments. Okay, real quick. This is from Art. Art says, on an airplane flight, the airplane takes off, then climbs to a cruising altitude, then levels off and stays at that level until time to make its descent for a landing. We are told we do not sense the plane continuously going down or up depending on your sphere, relativity, because of gravity. So while on that airplane flight that is leveled off, you get a glass of water and place it on your tray. The water in the glass would be level and stay level if we are on a flat plane. If we are on a sphere, with the airplane constantly going downhill or uphill, the water level in the glass would show this inclination or declination angle. Water in a glass will show this inclination declination as the plane takes off and climbs to a flight altitude, and then on the descent for landing. But once the plane has leveled off, the water is always level. Keep it flat. Art. Yes, Art, you are absolutely right. And please, anyone that goes on a plane, that's a simple way to do a test. There's also an app out there for the iPhone which will show you the level. and it's pretty precise. And there was a guy that flew, I think I told you, from like Chicago to London, and he said it never changed when they were at cruising altitude. Sort of like what this guy's saying. If it's a globe, the plane should keep.
Hello?
Holy smokes, he's back. Is this Alaska?
Yes, this is Alaska.
Hey,
I did not click that. I thought I dropped that off.
that's okay. What took you so long? What's going on?
I'm sorry, I don't know, some technical difficulties. I'm listening to you on live on one phone, and I'm trying to call you on another. It's some
That's
back and forth. My name is Michael Nolan.
Hey, Michael.
Okay, hi, how you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
Sorry, I just had a couple questions because I am actually trying to spread this to the academic world, if you will. I'm talking to some of my previous high school teachers. I'm in college right now, but I trust them to be able to take my opinion seriously and to actually look at this objectively. And I talk to all walks of life, like government teachers, math teachers, science teachers, art teachers, literature teachers, and half of them listen to me and half of them think I'm nuts. Is there a... I tell them to look at you guys, or like to try and listen to your talk shows.
There's a better way. If you want to introduce them to it, go to my YouTube channel, which is Mark K. Sargent, or just go to the main website, enclosedworld.com. But if you're on my YouTube channel, we got like 1 minute to the break, so it's going to have to be quick. I've got a playlist on there called the Flat Earth Shortlist. It's got about 20 videos on it from all different people. There's only one of mine on there. It's not even one of my clues. And have them just kind of pick and choose. There's something for everybody on that thing. And, again, do not expect them to absorb it really quickly. At the minimum, it's going to take several days, after they look at it to even decide whether or not they want to try to accept it. And then after that, maybe they'll get back to you. But yeah, have them look at the Flat Earth short list, or if they're really a glutton for punishment, just have them go into YouTube, type in Flat Earth, and hit search for this year.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Hey, you good to have a good rest of your day. Stay warm up there.
I'll try. I'm actually outside freezing. Thanks.
Okay.
All right, take care.
All right. And with that, I think we're going to our first break.
Hello, Colby. This is the White House. Ronald Reagan speaking.
Hello, my old friend. How are you today?
Finally, it's time for a daily chess match. Are you ready?
Yes. My last move yesterday was a 3 from 2-6.
Freaky Friday with the Woo Crew. Fridays on Truth Frequency Radio.
Welcome back to Strange World. I'm your host, Mark, with Jonathan from Jersey.
Hey.
So, you had a comment about Mr. Alaska that called in?
Oh, yeah. No, if I was his professors, I would just fail him on principle. I'd say, you know what, kid, you're spending too much money on college, and you're going to flunk.
Nice.
Just for bringing up the flat earth and challenging me.
He's not the...
I'm just kidding.
Jonathan, the worst collegiate professor ever.
Why'd I get an F? Because I can.
Any questions? Yeah, I have a... Shut the hell up. Next.
All right.
Yeah. That's a ripoff of Dennis Leary. It's 1993 Cure for Cancer tour.
Oh, I was thinking the end of that movie, The Perfect Girl. What is it, The Perfect Girl or something like that? The kid films a movie, and at the end, the guy's taking calls from the audience. You know, people are like saying stuff in the audience.
Yeah.
And he's like, shut the F up. Next question.
Again, Dennis Leary, I think, before he had his first kid, he had I thought it was one of the best comedy routines ever.
He was brilliant. Yeah,
Dennis Leary, no Cure for Cancer. Look it up if you get a chance. Mid-90s, brilliant.
I thought he was great in Demolition Man too. Like when they picked him, it's like, how do you tap that guy? But then he was hot back then.
Oh yeah,
94.
he was really hot. I mean, he's still got it now, but that was when he was on fire.
I think he got burned out on politics though, because you know he was into kind of the conspiracy edge before anybody else.
Yeah, he should be on Flat Earth now.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Imagine him with a rant on the Flat Earth.
Oh,
with that, remember he used to do those things on MTV?
Oh
those
yeah,
monologues.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah, that's an idea.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, he's not the kid that called from Alaska. They want to talk to his high school professors. I'm getting quite a few academic reach outs recently, which, in fact, there's one guy who's going to try to get a hold of his college professor, and he wants to Skype me live in the classroom to where I'm going to be debating his college professor. Now, his college professor isn't a astrophysicist. He's a mineralogist.
Uh-huh.
So, geology, basically. So, sure. Why not? I don't care at this point. I've heard all the questions. So, anyway, back to seriously, throw them at me. I'm getting. If it sounds sometimes like I get irritated, it's because science can't even throw me a new question. I haven't gotten a new question in a couple months.
No offense, if I was paying for my kid to go to college and they came home and said, "Dad, we were talking to this guy who believes the Earth is flat," I would call the administration and say, "I want my goddamn money back." I would find out who you were on YouTube. Like, are you kidding me?
See, killing me. You're just killing me.
I'm sorry.
All right, this is from an email comes in, by the way, the mailbag that was left open yet again on my secretary's desk. She went home for the evening, and I just have to rifle through it. This is from Peter Etches. And he says, "Hey, Mark, thanks for your great work. I recently gave a PowerPoint presentation about the flat Earth and offer $5,000 worth of landscape artwork to the first person who could prove the Earth was a spinning ball orbiting the sun. They could not use photography, theories, or math, only real science. I have challenged a professor at the university. No luck yet. My question is, has anyone ever really bothered to seriously challenge you, or is anyone else on your level?" Well, thank you for the compliment, Peter. Look, I'm not a PhD. I don't even have a master's. But what I'm saying is it's all a level playing field. It's a flat playing field. If the science behind most of the physics and the other physical sciences out there, it was based on a bad foundation. That foundation being that the Earth was a globe. So no, nobody's come forward yet. We're still waiting. I mean, look at the Art Bell show that's coming up. They had to grab Stanton Friedman because they couldn't get an astrophysicist to come forward. And most of it, let's be honest here, most of it is because they are published. They have multiple letters next to their name, and I know several PhDs, and they tell me that. They say, look, it's the amount of education that they have. They don't want to risk it by being, they would be criticized harshly just for even showing up, regardless how the debate went. Even if they showed up, it's like, what are you doing? You're in a flat Earth debate? Get out of here. You're never getting published again. One of those things. So anyway, Peter, thanks. Hope you don't lose $5,000 worth of landscape artwork, but I don't think you're in any danger whatsoever. So there you have that. Let's see. Niv writes, "Hey, Mark and Jonathan, I enjoyed watching your show and really dug the flat Earth clues. Thank you. I ran into this video, also site explain how Apollo missions went through the Van Allen radiation belts. Remember what I was just saying? Thought it would be handy info for you if you'll debate this issue, the video and the site." And this was the one, this is the guy that sent me to the link that basically said that their answer for getting through the Van Allen radiation belts was, floor it! Just hit the gas! What's the worst that could happen, right? I mean, honestly, here one more problem with that, and that is, let's say you did make it through and back, and that thing, fine, the astronauts didn't suffer any damage, which would be impossible. But by the time you got down to the water, when they splash, the splashdown, that capsule would be just glowing, with radiation. The frogmen, what are you going to put on the frogmen? You going to put a lead suit on the frogmen so they go up and pull the astronauts out? How's that going to work? Frogmen are a sink. They're going to die. It's going to be awful. So no, not buying it. Clarification on last week's Brian from Canada question. Remember the guy I think I told you about, Brian from Canada, who calls me from time to time? Very nice guy, Brian.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And his brother Ron. They were the plumb bob experiment, because he was kind of delving into how flat was it and were there warps. And when I said the plumb bobs were actually kind of pointed in toward each other, actually they were kind of pointed outwards. But either way, a gravity well, a modular gravity system, not that tough. But I thought I'd clarify that, because he actually called me and says, I think you meant to say they were spread out. And you're absolutely right. I misread that. I said come together, and it was actually come apart. Right? Mm-hmm. Right? Came together at the bottom? I think those, move apart. Yeah, right. Got it. All right. So anyway, thank you, Brian and Ron, once again. Enjoy talking to you guys. Whenever you want to wrap, just give me a call from Canada. But you got to call me, because my phone, apparently, because I don't know much about mobile phones and Verizon, it is long distance to Canada. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
On Verizon? I did not know that. When I was on Comcast in Colorado, when I was using a landline, it was free, the United States and Canada. Right. But as soon as I get Verizon, it's long distance to Canada.
You got another call, by the way.
Ooh, do I?
Yeah, you want it?
Where's it from?
I don't know. Let's see. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, guys, it's Michael again.
From Alaska?
Dude, I was only kidding.
Yeah.
Well,
no, I have no problem. But can I jump off of the perspective that you guys are taking at just for a moment?
Sure.
I completely agree, actually, with what.
It's Mark's show, but I say no. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I completely agree with actually what you guys are talking about. It is a joke. It is a joke that I'm going to college, and I'm only going to college because I like the idea of spreading information to the wise minds that are trying to develop themselves, and I'm also doing it through the ones that are beginning to learn this information. Oh, wow. Holy shit. I've got a dog chasing me. And so it's like I completely agree with you. Yeah, I'm getting chased by a dog.
Will you...
They got the FEMA guys got the dogs on them already for being an infiltrator.
But so I think it's a bit bigger than that now. That actually people are listening to me and they're starting to look at your videos. So I wanna know what's the next move, because I'm kind of planting a virus.
Get used to dogs barking at you. That's your future right there. Except there'll be a chain link fence around your barbed wire.
Wow, that's really good. No, thank you for spreading the word, man. And the fact that you're open-minded enough to call, fantastic. It gives me hope. Some small glimmer of hope in humanity. Have you outrun the dog yet?
All right. No, but I'll stop taking up your time. Thank you for listening, and you guys are the people that have given me hope in the first place, so I figured I'd return the favor.
Okay. Hey, stay safe, man.
Will do.
Okay.
Take care.
Okay.
You know what I say to that, right?
What?
Moratori te salutant. Those who are about to die, we salute you.
Wow, I don't think I've ever heard something like that. And I've listened to a lot of radio stuff. There's focus for you.
Yeah,
He's being chased. You can tell the dog, is sometimes gaining on him, sometimes not, and he's still talking.
That's funny.
I love that. Thank you, Michael from Alaska. That's a great theme for this show. Again, that shows you the power of this the flat Earth thing. He's calling in. I mean, he might be in some sort of mortal danger.
I like that he's subverting people's minds with this stuff too.
Yeah, going to college and spreading the word. Yeah, if you're listening, by the way, in college, and you're sober enough to stand, do a mass email. Send things out there. Just say, look up this flat Earth on YouTube. It's nuts.
Maybe we have to come up with a logo, kind of like Anarchy Rules with the A. Remember back in the 90s or the 80s, the white A. So we should come up with something for the flat Earth. I mean, besides just the obvious flat Earth. What do you think?
You mean like a slogan?
Yeah, but something very simplistic, like something that really. I mean, obviously you would say, "Oh, just put the flat Earth up," and people will say, "What is it?" But I don't think they would.
Well, they're working on that. Everyone's kind of working on. Again, that's part of the gold rush right now, which is that everybody's looking for that one little niche, that one little hook. Like Wakey. I'm sorry, Mark Knight. was, like the little flat Earth sticker. And someone was thinking of creating like a Jesus fish, only it's like just a little picture of a flat Earth you put on the back of a car with nothing, underneath it, except maybe it's flat. So that would be kind of cool. But yeah, to get people thinking.
Well, I was thinking, remember that other thing? You were into conspiracies for a while. Remember that thing with Toynbee idea? And people were like stamping it in the roads?
Oh, right.
It's something crazy like that. Like that's just like people don't know.
Well, like the flying spaghetti monster? Like that?
Yeah.
That was pretty, although you gotta admit, I mean, that actually turned into things on the trunk of your car.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who don't know what flying spaghetti monster is, look that up. Fascinating concept. And that was that was 10 years ago at least.
Yeah. Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, too.
Yeah, Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. Go figure.
Bizarre.
Yeah, there you go. This next email.
Oh, wait. Give out the number real quick, because I think you already had it.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. The number is to call in. Toll free to talk to Jonathan and I about anything, really. Don't go into, family problems or anything like that. But it's 1-866-37-TRUTH or 866-378-7884. Truth Frequency Radio. Real people, real radio. And real flat Earth. What?
Stay flat, America.
Exactly. By the way, a little side note. Star Wars is not going to be the number one movie of all time. It's just not. People are the hype that they put on this. I remember I heard this when Peter Jackson's King Kong came out. Will Peter Jackson's King Kong undo Titanic as the number one movie of all time? And then all of a sudden Avatar comes out and makes $2 billion. It's basically what it has to surpass Avatar. And people, it's not like it was when Avatar came out. People lined up in the theaters and they went to repeated showings a lot. So, I mean, yeah, will it make $1 billion? Yeah, maybe. But we'll make $2 billion. I just can't see it.
I can't get over that though. You say $2 billion. I mean, ticket price sales are out of control. I mean, do they ever compare it dollar for dollar to like, let's say 1960s dollars to today?
Oh yeah. They adjusted dollars. I think Avatar is in the top two. The only one that's kind of in question is Gone with the Wind.
Ooh, yeah.
Believe it or not, from the golden age of movies, Gone 1939. When Gone with the Wind, most people don't understand. When there was no such thing as even a duplex. It was just like a single theater out there, and it was in the theater for months and months and months to where they had the reel ran out, wore out, and they had to keep asking the studio for more reels.
Oh wow!
So, yeah, it made a ton of money, ton of money. So look that up if you get a chance. All right, where was I? Oh right. Mailbag. Jim writes, "Hey, Mark and Jonathan, how are you guys? I like your videos. Thank you for the work. One thing I was noticing is whenever I talk to anybody about curvature or lack of curvature, like seeing something 60 miles away, I keep getting hit repeatedly in the neck and shoulders. No, that's not true. He didn't say that. Neither they nor I could rattle off the calculation for curvature of the Earth. Seems like it would have been a pretty reasonable thing to teach in school. In high school, we were taught to calculate the gravitational pull of the moon from the Earth, etc., in practical calculations, unless you're going to be working at NASA. But something completely rational, if we truly lived on a ball, would be the curvature. I don't know if it justifies another clue. It's somewhat similar to a clue number one, where it's just odd that it was never taught in school, similar to no movies of the moon landing. Odd in its omission. Oh. Even searching on the internet is not easily found. But if they did teach, of course, the jig would be up soon. Best regards, Jim. Anyway, sorry.
I was just going to say, maybe you can do like a Flat Earth Math 101 and then put all the calculations in the one video that people need to have handy.
Yeah, I might as well. I don't know how many calculations are there, though? Other than the 8 inches per mile squared, what else do we really rattle off?
Try to think.
And for those of you who are listening for the first time, it's 8 inches per mile squared if you believe in the globe model. So that's 8 inches times every mile times itself in parentheses. So if it's 2 miles, it's 2 times 2 in parentheses times 8 inches. And then 3 times 3, 4 times 4, and so on and so on and so on. So what happens is like 50 miles, that's like, between 16 and 1,700 feet of curvature. So technically, you should not really be able to see any physical man-made structures at 50 miles. And yet we do. And then some, like Sean McCrary, painting very low-altitude battleships at over 60 miles with a 2-inch radar beam. So there you go. Yeah. These are the things we talk about. Let's see. A few new proofs. Okay. I got one for you. I'm not going to be able to pronounce his name real well. Mark and Jonathan, and this is from Dipling Andrija Radovic. And
Sounds like your mic was cutting out there.
Yeah, I know. What was that movie? The gods are crazy or something.
Oh, yeah.
With the African tribe that talk in clicks. I can't do that.
I love that movie.
And if I'm just completely butchering your name, I am sorry. Your telephone has a 3, is it a 38 prefix to it? So I don't know what country that is, but who knows? It doesn't really matter. Let's read it. It's and let's go by the official name. Maybe the other thing is, you know what? I think the other thing is a title. DIPL.ing. It doesn't really matter. My name is, we'll call it Andra. I am an electrical engineer and have collected several proofs that something is odd with the official theory, and his English isn't perfect here, so bear with me, that is going on. You should try to rotate a hard-boiled egg and a fresh egg. You know this trick, right? The fresh egg denies to rotate, while the hard-boiled egg spins cheerfully. So the rotation of the globe with its liquid core and oceans is duly impossible, right? The second proof is the precession of the globe, which is impossible from the standpoint of the classical mechanics because of the inertial momentum's difference between two axes of almost perfectly homogeneous globe is 10 million times, which is not a plausible fact. This precession of the globe also dismisses the existence of geostationary satellites. In China, all satellite dishes are directed straight up, which is impossible within the official model. Also, two other notable things that he mentions. There are also two historical events. Why did the Titanic have such a northerly route that it hit an iceberg? And why the Great Eastern Ship had never established a non-stop trip to Australia? Simple, because the direct trip lasted longer than the indirect one, which was explained by some strong currents. How could all these be possible? So, what is the proof of a globe concept? The clouds are still illuminated while the sun is below the horizon? And what is the proof against the concept? The objects can be seen far beyond the expected line of horizon? But the situation is not that simple. I have plenty of quite simple, irrefutable experiments, and they're not mutually consistent. Some of them point that the Earth is flat, some that it is concave, and some that we're dealing here with a strange quantum phenomena that bends the light's path. Simply, Earth can be much bigger with a solid core, and even with hidden continents. And then it goes on and on. But let me see if there's anything else here. No, that was basically it.
Well, but if it's in space and it's rotating, and the Earth, let's say it got a slow start and then spun up to 1,000 miles an hour,
yeah,
then it's just in the vacuum of space, so that's not going to happen. It's not the same as an egg on the countertop.
No, it's not. But I like the analogy.
Yeah, no.
Because people get that. They understand that if you spin a raw egg, the liquid center completely screws up the spin, and a hard-boiled egg, spins like crazy. So, I mean, it wouldn't affect, but, he does have an interesting point there, and that is if the Earth is a globe and it's not truly hard-boiled yet, because science says that it's got a creamy, caramel center, then should it be spinning the way it is right now? And should that spin be consistent on a regular basis? They don't ever address it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, see, no, I got slammed for being I hate to say, the devil's advocate or whatever, but somebody asked a question on one of your videos, the one you did with Jeff Young.
Yeah.
And he said, bring up the debate, trillions of tons of water held on a round ball. If you bring that up in the debate. He says, when I bring up the subject to the people, it seems to start really boggling their mind. Of course, when you say it, their answer is always gravity. When I tell people gravity is strong enough to compress trillions of tons to a ball, would surely crush every living thing on Earth. And my answer to that was just simply, well, again, if we're spinning and there is some kind of thing called centrifugal force that's pulling away, then maybe that's the thing that keeps everything in balance. If you're going with the the round Earth model.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying there.
Yeah.
But we
No, I
still don't
agree.
even know what gravity is. Because
No, we still don't know
changes
what
at
gravity
different-
is.
Yeah. It still doesn't make sense.
If I get in a debate and I have to change, part of my monologuing now, because I'll say, look, fire burns, water is wet, and if I drop this pen, something is pulling it to the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
Science calls it gravity, but they don't know actually what it is. They have no freaking idea. It's just a theory, no different than the center of the Earth. They don't know what's at the, if the Earth is a globe, they've only drilled down 8 miles. They don't know what's down there. But people don't like question marks. They don't. We're hugely curious, but we'll take any answer as long as there's a consensus to it. And so when enough scientists agree, it's like, well, it's a liquid molten center, then that's what people have to, what else are they going to go with? That was the best thing they had. So there you have it. Here's an interesting one. This is in response to your show, actually. Hey, Mark and Jonathan, that was an excellent show you did about the Freemasons. But I'm curious why you left out Albert Pike's prediction of all 3 world wars. I think it's worth mentioning, considering what's currently happening in the Middle East. After reading these predictions, now I know Adolf Hitler was simply a Freemasonic player on the world stage. It makes me wonder why Eric Dubay is making him out to be some sort of champion against the Jews. And this is from Shenmue Dojo. Thank you, Shenmue. Okay, I did not mention the Albert Pike prediction, mostly because we didn't have time. We only had 2 hours to cover basically all of Freemasonry, and there just wasn't enough time to pack it in there. But Albert Pike, do you know about the predictions about Albert Pike?
No.
Not really. He wrote some letters, and I can't remember off the top of my head who they were addressed to, but they're in some library right now. I think they're under glass, where he was basically talking about how the New World Order is going to go down, how it's going to happen, and it's going to take time. Basically, he was laying out a kind of a blueprint, basically laying out how the First World War is going to go, how the Second World War is going. You can do it in 3 wars, kind of like a chess. I'm gonna checkmate you in 3 moves, and he kind of laid it out. If you believe the story, and it's an interesting one, that he laid it out in 3 wars. He said you can create a new world order in 3 wars. And he laid out exactly what the 3 were going to be. But the third one was interesting because it went against, it was basically the systematic destruction of Islam. Yeah, it was, I just thought it was very interesting. I'll send you the letters if I get a chance.
Yeah,
But
please.
But yeah, that guy, yes, I did leave that out. I didn't leave it out on purpose. It was just that I was covering, I like doing the broad strokes. And Albert Pike's predictions, while kind of interesting, didn't really go into what I was touching on with the whole flat Earth and how the Masons knew and all that. But no, I wasn't leaving it out on purpose. In fact, I will send you right now, Jonathan. I will send you the link for later.
Oh.
If anyone can look it up. You don't have to look very far. It's just Albert Pike prediction letters. Albert Pike 3 World Wars. Blah blah blah. So let's give out the phone number one more time, and then we're going to go to our second break. Phone number. Truth Frequency Radio, toll free, 866-37-TRUTH or 866-378-7884. Operators, well, topless nude operators, no, really attractive, leggy operators are standing by.
I was going to say, I am topless. I'm not nude, but yeah, I'm topless right now.
Seriously? You're not sitting in your underwear, are you?
No, and I'm wearing flannel pajamas. But they have skulls and crossbones on them.
So it's like A Christmas Story, only with like a death metal angle to it.
Oh, by the way, that video you sent me, that had a great beat to it, man. I cranked it up 3 times.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking of using that as the intro for the next episode. What do you think?
That was, I mean, that's the only thing that can match it. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was. I was gonna use the words over the top of it, and kind of use like the first minute of it with the words.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris will play the track, and then I'll throw in the slides.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, we'll be back.
wherever you are. Make it TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
Welcome back to Strange World. I'm your host, Mark. Jonathan may or may not be with me from Jersey.
Yes.
And he's not. He is.
I'm here.
Oh, you're here. You gotta turn up your mic.
Can you hear me?
Speaking too quiet.
Okay.
But that's okay. Speaking of that track that I want to use for the intro for next week, somebody actually sent it to me, which was really cool. And it was done by a flat earther who put it up there, and it's a song from a few years ago, because Danny Elfman, it's a great track. I love Danny Elfman's track, don't get me wrong, but this is actually you call them actually a conspiracy band, I suppose, a conspiracy band with the name of Graveyard, right? And the song's name is called Goliath. How cool is that? A conspiracy band named Graveyard singing a track called Goliath. And the lyrics are really cool, and so what I was thinking of doing is trying it out next week, and if everybody likes it, I will, and I don't get hit for any sort of copyright thing. I'm thinking of using it.
Cool. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If they said you could do it.
Yeah, you're still too quiet, just so you know.
Still?
Yeah.
All right. I'll adjust.
Yeah, turn up. While he's adjusting, I'm going to read an email titled, and I had to read this one on the air because the title was called "Wow, Wow, Wow," sent to us by the Amber Factor. I love that name. That is a great email address. The Amber Factor. Mind blown and stuck. My pastor did a workshop on this, and I've been soaking up. Can you believe that? He's her pastor. I probably talked to this guy at one point. My pastor did a workshop on flat Earth, and I've been soaking up every single thing I can, and it seems to be gaining a lot of attention and traction. I love your videos by far the most for two reasons. One, you let me discover God, capital G-O-D, rather than ostracizing or separating anyone who probably would have been trying to dismiss the evidence based on core beliefs they rigidly hung on to, and the dreaded cognitive dissonance. Two, your tone. You do not treat the viewer as an idiot, and you do not have the superiority complex or attitude. In fact, you shared your journey at some points. My life has changed, and I learned this last week, Saturday, and it is very, very overwhelming. Thank you for your time and being led to create the video. So thank you, Amber. That's really, really nice. See, I love the positive stuff. I do. She didn't call me names. She didn't call me an effing idiot.
And can you hear me now, by the way?
I can.
All right. Can I say one thing now that you can hear me?
Gee, I don't know.
1-866-37-TRUTH, 866-378-7884 to call in to Mark and Jonathan.
Hey, that's pretty, pretty good. It's almost like you could do your own show. All right. While we're waiting for a call, because we get so many emails. This is one from Justin. The email is titled The Outer Edge, and it's very, very short. I'm finally convinced. Now, how can we turn the page in history with so many that are blind to the truth? By doing what we're doing right now, man. By doing what we're doing right now. Just spreading the word as fast as you can to as many people as you can, but be careful. Do not alienate yourself from family or friends. Feel them out Fight Club style. Do you think they'll be able to hack it, or again, bring it up to them like it's a joke, because that was the first line of the clues. It's a joke, right? It's not real. It's ludicrous. It's madness. It's insanity. Bring it up like that. Is it a joke, though? That's what I tried to prove for 9 months. Some people will take much less to pull that off. So thank you, Justin, for asking that question.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Carol writes. What does Carol write? Carol, she says, oh, yeah, she sent me an advertisement. Okay. So, Carol Hester, we're going to remember, if you don't want your name being said, got to put it at the beginning of the email. So if I get you in trouble, it's not my problem. She sent me an advertisement which was just put out recently, which was Worldview Exploration at the Edge of Space. This 2-part adventure begins in 2016 with a behind-the-scenes invitation to a worldview test flight. The Myres Resort in Tucson, Arizona is home for 3 nights. Spend your days with the flight's chase and recovery team and tour Biosphere 2 with original crew member and Worldview CEO Jane Pointner. In 2017, you and 5 companions will experience 360-degree views of Earth as a high-altitude balloon lifts your luxury pressurized capsule 100,000 feet above our planet. With the purchase of the Worldview Exploration at the Edge of Space, Neiman Marcus will donate $1,500 to the Heart of Neiman Marcus Foundation. Gift limited to 10 Neiman Marcus customers. Additional details. You think this is a joke, right? You think I'm reading like a parody, and I am not. This is real. I'll give you the freaking phone number at the end of this. Additional details. 2016 Chase and Recovery trip includes a 3-night stay at Myres Resort in Tucson, Arizona. 2017 voyage trip includes a 2-night stay at the luxury resort near your flight day launch location. Space capsule seats a total of 6 passengers and 2 pilots. Duration of spaceflight estimated at 5 to 6 hours. Space capsule features refreshments, a bar, and a lavatory. Visit worldviewexperience.com for more information or watch the video. Or you can call 877-9NM-GIFT. So 9 New Mexico gift. Oh, Neiman Marcus gift. Sorry.
Got it.
Yeah, Worldview. You know how much this little baby cost you to pull this off? To get up to 5-6 hours up in that balloon? $90,000. That's right. Neiman Marcus. They don't go cheap. No, they don't. 90 grand, you can go up in a balloon for 6 hours with drinks and a bathroom. I would hope if you're serving drinks, you had a bathroom. Unbelievable. This thing's never going to happen.
You have another call.
Oh, good. Because that just left a bad taste.
I just thought I'd save you from that.
Oh,
and
unbelievable. And you think that's the worst of it. No, we got more to come. But go ahead. Who do we got? Where is it? Where's it from?
It looks familiar. So it looks like a rerouted call.
Oh, okay.
Okay, hold on. Let's pick up this one first. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, Jonathan, West Stace, Flat Earth News. How are you guys doing? How you doing, Mark?
Hey, Wes, what's going on, man?
What's doing?
What's the word in the Flat Earth News?
Oh my God, I'm telling you. Well, we both of you guys know what happened with. I was trying to get both of you guys on the show separately, and the powers that be just wouldn't allow it.
Yeah, you got to go audio only, man. Your computer is terrible.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah, it is not good. Oh, I already knew. I told you that.
It's awful.
But yet I'm on it. I'm on it right now on Google, and it's working great. So yeah, I just got to do audio. Period. Anyhow, I just happened to look that deal up. I don't know if you caught it or not.
Oh yeah.
With the Albert Pike.
Thank you very much for mentioning that. So Albert Pike's letter was to Mazzini, August 15th, 1871, when he discussed the 3 world wars. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. I had to look it up and read it because I never even heard of it. So it shows you how much history I know, which is none.
Got it. Well, anyway, hate to do this to you. Thank you very much, but there's another caller on the line, is from what I understand.
Nope. It's okay. I was just throwing that out.
Thank you. I'm glad you clarified it first. Otherwise, someone was going to email me later. So that was Albert Pike to Mazzini. So thank you very much, Wes, from Flat Earth News.
All right. And you got another call from Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
Who do we got in the air?
Hello?
Hey, Wisconsin. What's going
This
on?
is Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Not too much. Just a few things real quick. One, Mark, what did you do to Jonathan to get him to leave in 5 weeks?
Wait, I'm
and
sorry.
two, how are you going to... Hello?
Go ahead. Say that first part of the question again.
What did you do to Jonathan to make him leave in 5 weeks?
Okay, what's the second part?
How are you going to find somebody who fills shoes that big, because he clearly carries your show?
Oh, wow! I don't know if that's a pump.
No,
up
just kidding.
No.
You guys were talking earlier about. You guys were talking earlier about what could people do to get the word out, make stickers or whatever. Here's a great idea. Nobody does CDs anymore. Get some Get some CD labels. They're flat. They're cheap. You can get like 100 for $10. You could print out a QR code linking to a website, or just write on them with a marker, or print them out with a text link.
Nice.
And slap them everywhere.
You're right, because you can get CDs for free. People are just waiting to give. You can pick those up at a thrift store, almost for nothing. And you could use CDs,
or you could just use those.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. You could put the stickers in the CD and just leave them places. You don't even have to put anything on the CD. As far as data,
you don't even have to use CDs. You can just use the labels. Use the labels, or you use paper, cut them out, and use some tape and put them on a telephone pole like a missing dog sticker.
Nice. I like it. That's good stuff, man.
One more thing. Your upcoming debate, or without giving any spoilers, unless you want to.
Okay.
Are there just a couple main points you're going to hammer home? Do you have a plan of attack?
I'm going to go after the basics. I'm going to stick to the bread and butter, because I'm going to assume that Art Bell is not going to be neutral on this, and he's going to go straight with the science thing. And I know that he and Stanton are going to claim that NASA is absolutely legit, have never told a lie in their life, and that the United States government is completely legit as well. And if they go one way or the other on that, I'm ready for them. So that's what I'm going to basically counter. I'm going to attack the moon. I'm going to attack NASA. I'm going to attack the ISS, and try to stay away from the fringe stuff. And we'll see what they do. I've got my spiel. I've been doing it long enough now that I would hope that if Art wanted to play fair, that he would let me run with it a little bit. And and I like Stanton's work. I'm a big UFO guy myself. So, and he's the premier UFO researcher in the world. So, I hope there's respect given on both sides. That's all I'm hoping for.
Do you think it might be a perfect time to drop your ace in the hole, your secret clue you haven't released yet?
No. No. I'm not wasting that thing on Art and Stanton. No, but thank you very much for remembering that. And
thank you guys.
Yeah,
thank you, man.
Thank you. You have a good day.
That was a good vote of confidence. I mean, like I said, there's only 5 more episodes left in 2015. That's it.
You're killing me.
It.
You're killing me.
Oh well. But hey, you know what? Maybe we can have a contest or something. I don't know.
We'll see.
Who can fill the spot?
Oh,
do like a Johnny Bravo, like a Johnny Bravo vest or something with a flat Earth patch on it.
Yeah, tell you what. I do not. No, it's not that Jonathan says that he's leaving. He's saying there's not going to be a show left at the end of the year because there physically may not be possible, because we could all be running around the streets with pitchforks and torches.
Well, that's a little extreme. Come on.
All right.
I like the way that caller threw me under the bus. He's like that guy you go to lunch with at work, and you're just kind of like bad-mouthing the boss, saying, F this place, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And then you come back, and everything's fine, and the boss says something, and he's like, what do you care? You're leaving in a few weeks. Everybody kind of lifts their heads like, what?
Nice.
And it's like, I didn't even have that discussion with the boss yet.
Nice. Ricardus Bernica writes, hey, Mark and Jonathan. Just wanted to say, well done, and really like the radio show. Just wanted to point out a few things I noticed myself about this topic. I just recently came back from holiday from the Canary Islands near Africa. From Lanzarote Island, with a perfect weather condition, you can see Africa, shores of Morocco, which are 120 miles away. That's the first point. Why the ISS doesn't provide any video with meteor showers. Don't they have a front row seat with the best view? 3, I tried to use GPS in the plane, and it didn't work in the air. As soon as I landed, it started to work, though. I have more things to talk about, but don't want to bother you with a long email. Many thanks, and keep up the good work. Cheers, Rick from the UK. And all three of those points is excellent. 120 miles away, that he can see a particular island. That's a lot of curvature. Shouldn't be able to do it. The ISS should have a front row seat for meteor showers, and yet we don't see any of the footage from those great meteor showers. I mean, shouldn't they actually, in some cases, be looking down on those meteor showers? You would think so. And then the GPS thing, no surprises there. Although there was somebody that was on another show recently that says, doesn't he know how GPS works? Of course, there's no coverage in the southern hemisphere because they don't have radar stations to help triangulate the 24 satellites that are supposedly orbiting around. And I'm going, if I built a system that used 24 satellites that circled the globe on a regular basis, I would put barges out there. I would put ships out there. It's the DoD. They got money to spend. It's called a global positioning system, not a land-based positioning system. Or better yet, why just take the globe? Just call it a PS, a positioning system. You don't call it a global system if you're not covering half the globe. Ugh.
No, globe is incorrect, but planet is correct. You can say planet, but you can't say globe.
Oh, so a PPS. A planet position.
I guess it is a PPS, right?
Yeah, there you go. But either way, it's look, if you have 24 satellites, you would spend the money to make sure there was no gaps in the southern hemisphere. You'd spend the money. It's not like it's a private, it's the DoD. They do overkill on everything. It doesn't really matter. All right. Let me see here. Who's this one from? This one's from Crit Kitten. That's a great name. And it's got a whole bunch of pictures. Everything on the list down there is a Rush for Land. Actually, I don't want to read Crit Kitten's thing because there's a lot of pictures involved. But thank you, Crit Kitten, for all the pictures. Tracing boards. This one goes into this was kind of interesting. This was based off your show that when we were talking about the Masons, the Masonic Flat Earth.
Sure. And
it was talking about the first, second, and third degree, and he sent links for people to look at different boards for the first, second, and third degree. Antarctica, you included in your slideshow the triptych I sent of the Rand, McNally, azimuthal, equidistant, polar projections from 3 differing decades, all showing the flight paths and distances. You should note all 3 orient Antarctica towards the west, corresponding with the Master Mason board, indicating it is the egress point. Interesting.
Ooh.
Note that also that the NGA, the end-all, be-all of terra firma, have a how do you pronounce that? Penchant for canting it the same way. So he sent me a PDF on that. So the enclosed PDF should answer any other points about masonry. So I thought the compass things, I thought that was probably one of the more interesting things we looked at when we were looking at those tracing boards, were how the compass, the north, south, east, and west, what they were doing there in the first place, but they were not what we would traditionally see, where the north at the top, south at the bottom, east and west, they were turned sideways. Maybe that's a hint. Maybe that's a breadcrumb. So thank you, Michael.
You get some cool mail.
I do get some cool mail.
I don't get any.
Oh, here's one for you. All right, you ready? This one's a bad one. I read bad ones every once in a while when they amuse me, when they amuse my sensibilities. Hey, Mark, this is from Boy Flat Out. I've watched you and your merry men and women of deception for a while, and now I think I have figured you out. First, I thought that maybe you had watched too many bad science fiction movies and played too many computer games, but then I realized that you and your merry company are Luciferians, and that's why you are pushing this aliens made us bullcrap on FE community, on the Flat Earth community. But I'm afraid I have to tell you that you Luciferians are the most deceived people on Flat Earth. Lucifer, a.k.a. Satan, he's got a whole bunch of other names, by the way. You don't have to always use Satan, is not going to reward your efforts, nor is he going to resurrect you like you have been told by your handlers. On the contrary, you Luciferians are going to be tormented for 5 months by the demonic locusts that come out of the pit after the 5th trumpet, Revelations 9, verse 1 and 11. And Satan knows he is not going to win the battle against God. He's just effing with you. He is a created being, a tool in God's plan for humanity. And you may ask yourself, why am I doing this? Here's why. I thought you deserve a chance to rethink your position in a different light. Pun intended. By the way, hiding comments is an old trick. Best regards, Ibid. Well, Ibid, also known as Boy Flat Out. A couple things. First of all, I hid the comments for months, so I don't know what you're looking at. Jonathan convinced me to let everything go quite a while ago. Two, we haven't pressed a lot of Luciferian stuff on this show last time I checked. So what are you doing? Wait, because of the Mason show, you think that's why he's mad?
Maybe. You know what? He's got me all revved up right now. Hold on.
Does he? No. I read it just for entertainment's sake. You don't have to go after him.
I was going to play something special for him. If you just give me a second.
Well, you got a soundboard thing you want to play?
Oh, I'm hooking up the soundboard.
Okay, while he's doing that, I could give you some other names that Lucifer goes by. The little horn, most unclean, son of perdition, the great dragon, the great deceiver, the father of all lies, the father of all sins. Where else should we go with this? Oh, how about Apollyon? That's always a good one. But do you have a sound effect for this guy?
Let me see if I can get one for him. All right, here we go. This is the one for him. All right, hold on.
Turn it up.
I'm going to turn it up just for him. Here we go.
Is dead. Satan lives. God is dead. Satan lives.
Is that too much?
What is that from?
Rosemary's Baby?
Oh, Rosemary's Baby. I haven't seen that in a long time.
I don't understand people with that. Like, really?
Yeah.
Even just saying something like that. Oh my God, did you hear what they said? They hang on every word. And they analyze every number, every second that you count down. When you say, we have 30 seconds. Oh, wait a minute. 30 is 3 plus 0 is.
Yeah. On a more constructive note. So I imagine that's because of the Masonic show we did. And that wasn't even my show. That was your show. I mean, granted, it was us, but it was your show. I'm not taking complete credit for that.
But wait a minute. When you discuss something, just to discuss it, like, see, even you have a guest on.
Yes.
And their views aren't necessarily your views. If you can understand that person, or it doesn't mean you condone it or take it on as your own.
No.
Right? A psychologist, and you go to a psychiatrist or psychologist, they listen, they understand where you're coming from. It doesn't mean they take it on and adopt it.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why talking about this stuff. Like, some people think that, oh, well, you're in league with them, or you're doing this, or you're promoting it. It's like
the conspiracy world tends to go whichever way the wind is facing. And, in his case, he immediately thought that I was throwing up, some devil gang signs, basically. And it's like, no, man, that's not what it's about. The Flat Earth movement is all about friendship, love and togetherness, truth and harmony. But
God forbid thank God you're not a public figure, like you're waving and to people. And,
oh yeah.
Then they take your hands and analyze frame by frame until, oh look, there's a sign of the devil. It's like,
yeah,
right.
Agreed. On the other hand, this email came in, and this is a lot more constructive. This is from Nate from Minneapolis. He says, I just listened to the Masons episode. I just thought you might like to know that the line of David, that's King David, began with Boaz and Ruth in the book of Ruth, chapter 4. And that Joaquin, Joaquin, was the father of the Virgin Mary. So it could be that the human line of Christ began at Boaz and ended at Joaquin. Also known as the two pillars, with the gateway in the middle, Boaz and Joaquin. So, yeah, see, that wasn't so hard. That was easy. And he didn't swear or called me a jack-off at all. He didn't.
By the way, you got a call, so hopefully.
Do we? Well, let's make it quick then, because we only got a couple minutes to the break. Bring him in.
And you're on with Mark and Jonathan.
Hi, it's Sasha from Orphan Red.
Sasha from Orphan Red, go figure. How is Vancouver? How is Vancouver, Canada treating you?
Oh, the rains have come, so it's not as sparkly as it usually is, but it's refreshing.
See, a silver lining right there. So what's your question? Or what's your comment? What do you got?
I was listening to your Masonic information show on your perceptions with Jonathan, and I kept coming back to the anchor symbol and the cross. And the cross is often associated with the zodiac in terms of like determining eras. So I had two questions. Number one, do you think that there are openings in the dome? And then number 2, do you think that if there are openings, do they open on a schedule? And is it possible that maybe some groups are trying to figure out the clues to find out when the gates open? Those are my questions.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a great question. Yeah, it's very possible. The first tracing board, which I looked at, had a ladder, a stairway to heaven, as it were, with it seemed like a star, or it could have been an opening at the top of that ladder. And those 3 symbols on that ladder, the cross, the anchor, and the heart at the top, could have been clues. You're right. It could be part of a key system, which is it possible that, if we are in an enclosed structure, there is a lock to this thing? And is it possible that the brass ring, the ultimate goal, the thing that everyone would try to strive for, is trying to get it open on their own? Opening the house door without the owner coming back, type of thing.
And don't forget, we saw this. They alluded to this in the movie Spaceballs, which was made by Mel Brooks, when they went through a hole in the dome. Remember, they were escaping with the spacecraft.
Yeah.
And of course, he's Jewish, so it's a Zionist conspiracy that there is a dome around us and there's holes like you're describing.
Interesting. Good question. Excellent question. I really like it. Yeah, there could be a key to this, and why not? Why wouldn't they be? If anyone would know that the key was there, the Masons would. So that's brilliant, and it was an angle I hadn't thought of.
And I was teasing about Mel Brooks and the Zionists.
We're going to break. Thanks, Sasha.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
His face is in the muck. I think his zipper's stuck.
The Rundown live with Mike and Kristen, Monday through Thursday on Truth Frequency Radio.
Welcome back to Strange World. I'm your host, Mark, with Jonathan from Jersey, and that was Joe Jackson, Stepping Out. So, you had a comment about Sasha?
For Sasha, I was going to tell her, you can't have rainbows without a little rain, so.
Yeah.
I know she's so positive all the time.
And you can't make an omelet without killing a whole bunch of people sometimes. So, that's not true. You don't have to kill a whole bunch of people. What? I'm just saying. Okay, so no, please, nobody do that. Nobody make a meme out of that. That would be horrible. So, by the way, I got to mention real quick that Chris and Cherie, the people that run Truth Frequency, they've been putting out quite a few more videos recently. They've been getting hands on, making quite a few flat Earth related videos, and it's really neat to see them get involved. I didn't know, and all of a sudden I was like, holy smokes, I know those guys. And one of these days, I'm going to have to go over and visit them over in Eastern Washington. So, remember how I told you? I don't know if I told you before the show that Jonathan. I was wrong. I said Thomas. Jeez, what was I thinking? It's Jonathan Walter. How could I forget a name like Jonathan? So he sent me an email about that flight to Antarctica. Remember the the first Boeing. So he sent a link, and you guys can look this up if you get a chance. It's very, very short. It's from an educational site, and it's a photo of the week. First Boeing commercial passenger jet lands in Antarctica. And the photo is really interesting because the caption is almost non-existent. There's no story to go with it, only that it's a Boeing jet supposedly landing on the ice with like 60 passengers because they want to test landing on the ice in Antarctica. It's going because you just took real passengers and you landed on the ice. You didn't need the passengers for that. And it was that just came out 2 days ago. Or, I'm sorry, yesterday. And he writes back a follow-up email. He goes, by the way, I ran it through a metadata tool and determined that it was edited in Photoshop, has no GPS coordinates, no author, no camera type or info. He goes, a bit suspicious. I call BS. I also emailed the flight company about this Antarctic flight and potential for future flights to see what they say. And I get a funny feeling he's going to get static. He's not going to get anything from these guys because it's crap. It's a fake story yet again. And it's done because we're concentrating so much on Antarctica. We're doing a lot of putting a lot of pressure on them. So thank you, Jonathan, very much. And I sent you the link to that, right?
Is it here on Skype or no?
Here, I'll send it to you anyway.
All right.
So yeah, anyone wants to look it up? First Boeing commercial passenger jet lands in Antarctica. Look it up, take it apart in Photoshop and see what you find out.
Yeah.
I bet you that thing's Photoshopped to hell.
And what was their excuse for this? A purpose was...
Read it. It's right there.
It's like to study whether traditional jets could be used to fly passengers and cargo to Antarctica. How convenient.
Yeah, I know. And so, yeah, so it could be possible. Yeah, so you're going to take 60 people down there from Iceland to the South Pole? Iceland?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to take them from the North Pole to the South Pole just to test to see if a plane, one of your flagship planes, can land on it?
Did you say that guy's name was Jonathan Walter?
Yeah, why?
Yeah, he commented on this article, too.
Yeah, I would hope so.
And he goes, what airfield did they use?
Yeah. What airfield did they use? Where's the GPS coordinates of this thing? I mean, that's the shortest article I've ever seen.
It really, you think it's almost as short as we landed astronauts on the moon, and then when they got back, it's like that was it, just one sentence, no mall visits, no nothing, no ticker tape parade. But damn those Yankees, man! If they win the Subway Series,
you got to see this article to believe it, guys. I mean, the picture, the space that the picture takes up more space than the text that goes with the entire article. The article is literally 2 very, very short sentences.
Wait, by the way, I was just kidding around. Did the astronauts get a ticker tape parade?
Yes, they did.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought so.
Part of the reason why they felt so guilty.
They did, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I take it back.
Yeah.
I knew it was wrong when I said it.
What?
No, I said they didn't even get a ticker tape parade. But
oh no, they did.
Okay,
they did. So also, again, I got a lot of email about that Mason video that we did. We're going to have to do a follow-up to that eventually. Saw your video about the Freemasons. Regarding the Hebrew text, I'm Israeli. Some of it looks like a complete mess, but most has meaning. The one appearing in the third card, I think it's the third one, the one of the exit, which actually is the...
with the alphabet over the doorway.
Yeah, the alphabet over the doorway. It says, and I cannot read Hebrew, even masu ha bonim... Haita le rosh pina. This has several meanings as far as I searched. It's from the Bible, Psalms 118, verse 22. And in translation, the stone which the builders refused is become the headstone of the corner.
Wait. Is it Psalm 118, 8?
No, 118, 22.
That's weird.
Why?
Because most people cite Psalm 118:8 as the exact middle of the Bible.
Really?
Not that matters, but I don't know if that's true what he's saying, if there's any correlation.
Interesting.
Around that. Okay.
So I'll read it again real quick. The stone which the builders refused is become the headstone of the corner. Thoughts? I'm starting to suspect that all Freemasons and maybe Illuminati are very strongly connected to my people. Hope it helped. Blessings, Niv. And that's from Niv Haramadi. He's Israeli. So there you go. I did not know. But that's pretty cool. So anyone else want to look up stuff on this? I would love to hear multiple opinions. But that's pretty good.
Oh, this is interesting. This is, the plot thickens.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, here's one. Kathy Dunson sends in. She goes, interesting image of ISS you might want to see. Looks like the one would think that was kind of a prop. It's from Wired Magazine from a couple of years ago. I looked at the video. It was supposed to be proof. Weak. And what it is a video of the spacecraft. Hopefully I don't get lost here. Spacewalking astronauts seen with a backyard telescope. Right? And you're thinking, that's kind of interesting. And I'll send this to you right now.
Oh, you want to give out the number one more time, or we take?
Oh, sure. Let's do it one more time, and then Toll-free number to talk to Jonathan and I is 866-37-TRUTH or 866-378-7884. That's Truth Frequency Radio. So what I just sent you is a picture that a guy took from his telescope, right? And that looks like what could be the space station, right? But what was interesting was they said in reviewing the photos he shot, he saw a few bright pixels appear precisely where the work was going on, exactly the moment it was being conducted. In other words, he was looking at an astronaut. Now, it's not like you could see it was an astronaut. All you saw were a couple pixels moving on the camera. But that's what they passed off as, as an astronaut, was a couple pixels moving. Basically, 8-bit astronauts, is like I like to call them. So let's move on.
There's how many people on the planet? 7 billion plus. Somebody is going to stumble upon the truth.
Yeah, somebody will.
It's just law of averages. I mean,
they'll trip upon it. Absolutely, they will. Kind of like that Peter Sellers movie that
was a good one.
It's unbelievable, right?
In plain sight. I mean,
yeah, in plain sight. So the movie was called Peter Sellers did a movie called The Party, and which I didn't even know existed. That
almost looked like an old what was that? Annette Funicello and that other guy. Was it Bobby?
Beach Blanket Bingo.
Yeah, it was that kind of movie, right?
Yeah,
it looked like.
Yeah, total soundstage, and on there's a shot of an elephant in the middle of this party, a baby elephant, and on the forehead of this elephant is written, "The world is flat."
Does that mean the elephant isn't the elephant in the room, the proverbial elephant in the room?
Ooh, I like where you're going with that one.
Right?
That's excellent. Yeah, but
I read into everything.
look up the screenshots for that, or download and rip the Party by Peter Sellers. And of course, I've got to mention this because this, I'm going to do this on air because you'll appreciate this. So I didn't even know, and I know Peter Sellers about as well as anybody, and I did not know that Peter Sellers even made that movie. Right? I have never seen The Party. Right? And I'm talking about this with you know who. And she goes, "Oh yeah, I own that movie." It's like,
get the F out of here! No effing way.
Totally serious.
That's bullshit. I'll say it right on air.
That's what I said. It's like there's no freaking way you own that movie.
Would she own a Blockbuster franchise at one time?
I didn't even. And us, we're movie guys.
Yeah,
right?
I'm calling bullshit on this one.
And I go, look, I didn't even know it's an obscure Peter Sellers movie. And you own it? Come on. You're killing me.
All right, let's see what other obscure movies she has in her catalog. She probably has The Taming of the Shrew with Elizabeth Taylor.
Dude, okay. No, I'll throw. That's nice. That's really good. All right, so I'll throw one at you.
Go ahead.
Ready for this? So we were talking on a show the other day, and I brought up that Werner von Braun stole all the theatrics for the Apollo program from a 1929 movie, German silent film. 1929 German silent film, very, very good, called Frau Mond, which is Woman on the Moon, right? Okay. And I know this because I actually have it downloaded in my library because I've been doing enough research on this that I had it, right? And she goes, "Oh, I have the DVD of that." It's like, God damn it.
Wow.
Who owns a 1929 DVD version? Well, the strangest woman I know.
You know what? If she did own a Blockbuster video, I'm going to say this. This is just for her. All the drama in my life was at Blockbuster Video, and I canceled the membership 15 years ago. What am I going to say about that?
Who owns movies but never watches them?
She does. What about Westworld?
She does.
She has Westworld in her catalog?
I bet she has Westworld. If you're listening, do you own Westworld? If you're listening, go ahead and text me.
How about Mr. Nobody? You ever see that one with Jared Leto?
Well, if she owned all the Art Disaster flicks. Did she own Westworld, though? I bet you, because it's a 70s movie. Right? It was like a mid-70s movie. Yeah. Anyway, enough digressing. Let's get back into this. Randall, every once in a while, sends some interesting stuff, right? Every once in a while. I'm just reading this just to make sure I don't... Oh, yeah, here it is. All right. Well, it's actually, every once in a while, even a clock, a stopped clock is right twice a day.
He's
right?
prolific. I'll give him that.
Yeah, he does send out the content. And that is, he's an avid listener to all the flat earth stuff, and man, does he scours the internet.
Right.
looking for stuff. He will probably stumble over this once or twice, over the good stuff. So he goes, one of those damn thoughts, feelings just hit me again. Okay, now let's say that Satan, Lucifer, the Royals have tried everything they could think of to get out of here, out of this enclosed structure. They've searched the ground foundation. They've gone to the bottom of the oceans. They've mapped out the ice ring. They've nuked the firmament. They've mapped the ether or space. And now have enlisted the hive mind, the internet hive mind, what we were just talking about, to find the entrance that is buried in the ground. They are hoping we find X that marks the spot. Just some more 2 cents that came from me from nowhere. God bless. Randall. It's like...
Wow. You know what I say to that if the powers that be are listening? I'm not in here with you. You guys are in here with me.
That's great. I know exactly where we're going with that
scene.
That's a great scene from Rocket, played by Bradley Cooper.
No. Watchmen.
That's right.
Rorschach in the prison.
You're absolutely right. I'm sorry. Rocket stole that line then from Rorschach.
Oh, is that right?
Watchmen. Yeah, he used that line in the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, I guess he would, yeah, because isn't that the same guy who did the Watchmen? Isn't that the same artist?
No, different voice.
Oh, okay. No, the same artist that drew that comic.
Oh, could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I could see him reusing that material. Sure. Why not? Oh, do we have any calls? Anybody?
I will look, and no.
Okay. I've got a few more emails, and let me see if there's anything that kind of... This is a guy that wrote it. I'm not going to read his whole letter, but it's from a guy named Raymond Goodwin. And he's got quite a backstory, but I only want to read the stuff that he talked about recently, which was, he said... he was doing protocol for high-profile magnitude projects such as straightening the Grand River from Chillicothe, Missouri to Gallatin, Missouri, reconstruction of all protective levees, or building the Lake Viking flood control structure with 650-plus acres of surface water and 21 miles of shoreline, have designed surveys from a benchmark. Remember, that was what the career surveyor was talking about, benchmarks.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, benchmarks are absolute, a point that is known, certain, perpetual, and tied to elevation above sea level. Surveys took months with orientation 0 degrees set on magnetic north, and the circuit closed back to the original benchmark. We drafted and designed flood routing hydrology based on 50 to 100-year storm frequency, manning formulation and plotting blueprints on the AutoCAD for open contractor site showing and bidding. Throughout rural Missouri, there are arbitrary benchmarks. Usually a farmer can guide you there. If not, locations are recorded by legal description and available at the courthouse. These benchmarks look like headstones at cemeteries that mow over them. I was told these benchmarks were established by the CCC back in the 40s. They were flush concrete circles approximately 2 feet in diameter with an inlaid steel badge and inscription, USGS certified, like 741 feet above sea level.
Mm-hmm.
Our surveys began and ended on the benchmark that was closest proximity to the project. Elevation above sea level on any and every ocean is only relevant on a flat Earth with water and equilibrium. On a globe, you might as well take your benchmark reading on the back bumper of a Buick parked in the ghetto. On a globe Earth, the relevant measurement would be elevation above outer crust plus radius of the Earth to the center core. Furthermore, it would be interesting to gain access to the top of 2 skyscrapers in Chicago, drop neon-weighted plumb bobs off the top of the Sears Tower, John Hancock, or the new Trump Tower, then set up an instrument where both could be seen and sighted from a central location. No reading is necessary. If both plumb bobs were perfectly parallel to the vertical crosshairs in the scope, there's your proof. Sincerely, Ray Goodwin. So thank you, Ray. That's a great little test. And again, another surveyor.
And that made me think of those land arrows across America. They're made out of concrete. You ever seen those?
Yeah.
I just sent you a link. Yeah, I never even knew about these things.
Yeah.
But it makes you wonder who surveyed and what reasons they put these things out there. Different than what they say that they're for.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Let me see what else we got. Right. You sent me the first, again, remember how you and I were kind of joking about, like, it's sped up to the point. I wasn't kidding. Go back and look at my recordings where I said it's just going to get worse and worse, that they're just going to release space stories every single day in hopes they can just keep people sane. I mean, you're fighting a losing battle, but that's the only move you got. It's just throwing it out there. It's like, we're doing stuff in space. We're doing stuff in space. Don't look at that flat Earth. There's nothing to see here. And then you sent me the dark side of the moon photo from China.
I love how it doesn't even look round or like a sphere. It looks flat.
Yeah.
Like artwork.
Yeah.
Like you could make it spherical and bulbous or anything.
Well, here's the other interesting thing is, why is China releasing the photo of the dark side of the moon?
Right.
Didn't we just take a shot of the dark side of the moon in that South Park animation that they, where the moon passing in front of the Earth? How is China now doing this?
Yeah, and not just that. When you look at it, I'm always thinking to myself, well, what are the optics on these damn things that are taking this kind of clarity and crispness? And you know what I'm saying? Like, what is this, like f/50? Like, what kind of lens is this?
Yeah.
It's perfectly focused while this craft is moving.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of light, of course, if it was lit by the sun, but still.
Yeah.
The detail doesn't make sense. You have a depth of field. There should be some blurriness. It shouldn't be crisp across the whole image like that.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't know.
Oh, and by the way, I figured out a couple settings, because Windows 10 was playing havoc with my live movie maker. But I figured out if I took the resolution down to mobile device size of any movie clips, I can actually include them. So for the YouTube version of this, you will see the astronaut recruitment video, which, where the head of NASA comes out in that 30-second commercial and says, "I'm recruiting for NASA. We're the best and brightest, blah, blah, blah," which again is another space story, because of course they have to be legit if they're going to allow people to apply for NASA. So like you and I, we could apply for NASA. So what they're doing now is different, is they're taking applications. Oh yeah, they're going to be burned, of course, but they're still taking applications because that makes it think like, well, if I can apply for NASA, then they have nothing to hide, right? Very clever. I'm also including in the slides, I'm including a couple animations. One is the Galileo in 1990. You'll see that every once in a while showing up where the Earth is rotating in space. You're thinking, well, what's so special about that? That's the one that Matt Boylan pointed out, that the weather doesn't morph over 24 hours. So the Earth spins around and nothing happens to the weather.
And you got two calls back to back, just like.
Do I? Oh, okay. Hit me. What do we got?
Let's do it. First caller, you're on.
Hello, guys.
Hey.
It's Mark from New York. I called a couple of weeks ago and told you ruined my vacation.
Cool. What's going on?
Hey, not much. I was just calling. I wanted to agree with you about NASA. They're definitely scrambling.
Yeah.
I have the Twitter feed, and every day there's something absurd that comes out. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, totally agree. They have no idea what to do next. So the only thing they can do is just create stories. In fact, the creation department has just got to be working overtime.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited you're going to talk to Stanton Friedman. I absolutely love that guy. I read like 3 of his books. And it's funny because, that's the whole chain of events. You start at 9/11, you go to UFOs, you blah, 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 and you end up here.
Yeah.
It's
I'm hoping I can take him with me.
I'm hoping Mark. I was gonna say, I hope Mark comes at him real strong, like Brad Pitt in the opening of Troy.
Wow.
takes a running leap and takes him out at the carotid artery. All right.
Nice. The carotid artery. Great. Anything else?
Yeah, real quick. One more thing. One thing that Stanton always says, and maybe you want to cut him on it, he always says NASA is never a straight answer. That's like his go-to line about NASA.
Ooh.
So I don't know if that would help you. Maybe,
absolutely, it's going to help me. Yeah. No, thank you. I'll make sure I look that up.
Says, I was thinking about it for days and trying to get to you to let you know that one.
Ooh, nice. Thank you. That's very helpful.
Definitely. Never a straight answer.
Great. Outstanding.
All right.
Thank you very much, man.
Keep up. Bye.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye.
All right. Hit me. Rapid fire it.
Okay.
What else we got?
Hold on a second. Okay, we got Ontario here. Let's see what they have to say. Hey, you're on the air.
Yes, hi. It's Lorna here from Tasmania. How are you guys?
Good. What's on your mind?
I wanted to let you guys know that things are really heating up down here in regard to Antarctica. I posted on my Facebook today. The HMS UK ship, Navy ship from UK called the Protector, arrived in our port yesterday to go down to Antarctica. The UK hadn't been here since 1935. They arrived yesterday with their new ship called the Protector to go and study fish.
Really?
Yep. And also, on the same day that arrived yesterday, because I keep an eye on the ships because I'm a nosy person, so I like to keep an eye on what's going on. We had a crude oil tanker from Britain also arrive, which is really amazing because we've got no oil refineries down here. So I'm not too sure what it's doing here, but pretty interesting. We've got a crude oil tanker. And we also had Skyfall, which is owned by John Philippi, the American entrepreneur. Yeah. He arrived here yesterday as well in Little Wee, Tasmania. I have no idea why a man with that money would want to be here. So I just thought I'd let you know that all the bookings down here are completely full, filled up with people who are going to be working down in Antarctica over the next few months.
Wow. Thank you very much for that information.
That is awesome. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Great. Thank you.
You have a wonderful night.
All right. You too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. See? How perfect is that?
I couldn't drop her. I liked her voice.
She's great.
By the way, I was thinking, as the other guy was talking, when he brings up NASA and you cut him off,
yeah,
tell him that NASA stands for Need a Sacrifice Astrophysicist.
Or need another 7 astronauts.
Oof.
Yeah, I know. That's an old joke. That's from the 80s.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we close out the show for tonight, I want to talk about this real quick, which was a link you sent me, and that was, while we're working hard to try to bring everything down, Neil deGrasse Tyson, what's he doing? He is hitting 2 franchises at the same time, which he's debating who has the better spaceships, Star Wars versus Star Trek. In no way is it related to the upcoming Star Wars movie that's coming out in a couple of weeks.
I forgot I sent that to you, and I made a funny note. I was like, really? This is what he can't come debate you, but he's got time to debate this wacky.
Yeah. Let's
fantasy.
debate who has the better starships, Star Trek or Star Wars. That's important to you, Neil. Don't think you can't dodge it forever.
He's way overpaid.
Yeah, I know. Eventually, Neil, you're gonna have to address it one way or the other. You could be the hero here. You could make a book and a movie deal, and you get out in front of this thing. Great. If not, you're gonna spend the rest of your days locked behind closed drapes with armed guards out front, protecting the hordes that want to come after you because they're gonna blame you. You're the one on all the magazines, and now it's gonna come back to bite you.
And you know what? With all his backing and support by NASA itself, he could be the proverbial Brad Pitt in Troy. He should be able to take you out 1, 2, 3 if he could.
If he could.
He would have done it already.
Yeah.
But he hasn't.
Yeah. Agreed. By the way, last thing. No, do we have time?
No.
No, we don't. We don't have enough time. I'll save this email for next time. It just came in this morning. Okay. So anyway, but thank you, Jonathan, very much. And we'll see what December brings. Next time.
See you guys soon.
Sarsaparilla, and I could say that Rufus found a kangaroo that followed Rufus home, and now that kangaroo belongs to Rufus Xavier Sarsaparilla. Whew, I could say that, but I don't have to, because I got pronouns. I can say he found a kangaroo that followed him home, and now it is his. You see, he, him, and his are pronouns replacing the noun. Rufus Xavier Sarsaparilla, a very proper noun, and it is a pronoun replacing the noun kangaroo. How common. Now Rufus has a sister named Raffaella Gabriella Sarsaparilla. If she found a kangaroo, I'd say to you, she found a kangaroo that followed her home, and now it is hers. But I can't say that, because she found an aardvark that fell in love with her, and they're so happy. And my name's Albert Andreas Amadilla, no relation to the sarsaparillas. Because of pronouns I can say, I wish she would find a rhinoceros for me, and we'd be happy. You see, a pronoun was made to take the place of a noun, cause saying all those nouns over and over can really wear you down. Now I could tell you Raffaella Gabriella and Rufus Xavier Sarsaparilla and Albert Andreas Amadilla found an aardvark, a kangaroo, and a rhinoceros. And now that aardvark and that kangaroo and that rhinoceros belong respectively to Raffaella Gabriella Sarsaparilla and Rufus Xavier Sarsaparilla and Albert Andreas Amadilla. Because of pronouns I can say in this way, we found them and they found us, and now they are ours, and we're so happy. Thank you, pronouns. You see, a pronoun was made to take the place of a noun, cause saying all those nouns over and over can really wear you down. Sometimes when we take them all on the bus, people really raise a fuss. They start shouting out a lot of pronouns at us, like, who brought that rhinoceros on this bus, and what made that horrible noise, and which one of them's getting off first? Who, what, and which have special pronouns that can ask a question in a sense where you do not know the name of the noun. But I know, I have mine and she has hers, and he has his and you have yours. They love us and we love them. What's ours is theirs, that's how it is with friends. And pronouns, you are really friends, yeah. Cause saying all those nouns over and over can really wear you down.